Osiris.
What's going on, people? How are ya? It's your girl, Karina Rykman, coming at you from the 212, the greatest city in the world, New York City. I'm back home, and I'm so thrilled to be chopping it up with my mainest man, the guy on the other end of the microphone. What's going on, Isaac? How are ya?
Karina, it's so great to know you are back in New York City. I just am overjoyed, inappropriately happy, and looking forward to just getting into it right away.
Dude, couldn't feel more similarly, my friend. This is great. It's always good to be home. Though I had a great tour with Mr. Marco Benevento on the West Coast. It's always a shocking thing that, I was away for just 2 weeks. Though, 2 weeks is sort of the marker of it being, anything less than 2 weeks feels short. Anything over 2 weeks feels long, But it's an interesting thing, being on tour time, regardless of time zone, is always, interesting for the body and the mind alike. But, the West Coast, it's funny. It's only 3 hours of a time change, right? But when you're staying up till 3, 4 in the morning every night on the West Coast, after your show, you're driving, you're hanging out, you're packing up, whatever it is, that's just what happens. And so, we're starting to get further and further away from East Coast normalcy here, And so when you come back from those things and then, you just, when it's the craziest time zone shift in one's body and mind when you come home. Of course, nothing compared to Europe or Asia or anything like that. But you're encroaching on, those time zone differences just due to the fact that you're staying up so late, when it's already 3 hours behind. So crazy stuff. Learning to figure it out. I've only been home for a day, and let me tell you, it was not easy to get up in the morning. But, it's one of those things. Nobody talks about it. Tour lag is real. And then, the longer you do this stuff, you just start to, in the beginning of the tour, you're fresh-faced, bushy-eyed, good to go, and then it keeps going, and you just, your internal clock keeps getting set back further and further. You get further and further away from, you just start to feel like you're a circus act, or something like that. It's a bizarre feeling, but we did real great out there. And I'm so stoked that, honestly, I'd like to shout out the Doug Fir, which is a club in Portland, Oregon. I really hold to the fact that the Doug Fir might be the greatest small club in these continental United States. And I say that for many reasons. Number one, the sound in there is absolutely incredible. You go downstairs and it's just, a Doug Fir. For those who don't know, it's a kind of tree that is very populous in those parts, the Pacific Northwest and whatnot. And it's just, the architecture is so goddamn beautiful. And it's constructed out of all of these logs, and it's sort of modern, but it's sort of, I don't know, it's really an interesting looking place. And it sounds incredible. It feels incredible. And if you're a touring band, you can stay at what they call the Jupiter Hotel, which is literally right upstairs from the club. So picture this, Isaac. You're there, you're playing your show, you put down your gear. If you want, you can be in your hotel room, which, by the way, is very fancy and delightful, in 30 seconds. You just walk upstairs and boom, you shut the door, you're good to go, which is just an amazing feeling as somebody who's, traveling, playing music in a different town every night. Man, I just can't say enough good things about the place. And the restaurant that also you could be in 30 seconds is phenomenal. And they have free coffee before 11 a.m. Not that I ever woke up that early, but let me tell you that it exists. So that was super fun. We played 2 nights there, which was just the best. And I'd like to shout out the Knott Springs Spa in Portland, Oregon. The dear woman, Allie, who runs the place, is a fan of mine and reached out to me and wanted to see if the entire touring party wanted to come and have a soak We're talking hot plunges, we're talking cold plunges, we're talking saunas, we're talking steam rooms, and 7 of us went and enjoyed, 2+ hours of luxuriation on our, second of 2 nights at the Doug Fir. It was really a tour highlight. And we're so thrilled that, there are kind people out there that are offering those things to us where, our bodies were at the end of, the tour, and things were definitely, it was time to luxuriate for 2 seconds. So it was really a lovely, lovely experience. And thank you so much, Allie, and to the fine people at Knott Springs. They all came to the show, raged it proper in the front row. Was so delighted to see. And yeah, Marco tour, man. We always have a good time. And I'm thrilled for the experiences and thrilled to be home. And now my next thing, Isaac, is Hulaween this Friday, which is sold out.
Wow.
And in a time where festivals are certainly not selling out, anything but, really. This is hot goss, so I'm excited for that in a big way. And for those who don't know, that is in the swamps of Florida. You fly to Jacksonville, you drive for an hour and a half, and you arrive at the Spirit of the Suwannee Park, which is enormous, beautiful, Spanish moss on the trees, incredible bodies of water with light shows and crazy fire displays. And I couldn't be more excited to play with my band again after 2 weeks of playing with Marco. So that's the hot goss. I'm delighted.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about that. I saw the schedule for that festival, and it just looks like, they curated and staggered the artists in such a way that you can really take in quite a lot in a very relaxed way, and just enjoy the multiple stages and the different kinds of music. I don't have it up right now in front of me, but I remember looking at the schedule when they released it, and I just thought, wow, this has a nice touch, and will make for some excellent days of music for all of those attending.
Certainly. I'm really excited. My stage, I get to open it. It goes me, then Liz Cooper, David Shaw, Margot Price, and then Frank Moody, which will be great. And I'm wildly excited to see Portugal the Man headline that evening after 2 spectacular sets by the String Cheese Incident. So that'll be really fun. And, for those of you listening that are coming, I hope to see you there. 3:15. On the Hallows stage. I couldn't be more excited. I've played that festival many, many times with Marco, once with my band in 2019, and it's always a good time. So I'm looking forward to seeing you there and for new, fun gigs that lie ahead, Isaac. But speaking of fun new gigs, there's one on our brain, one that you attended last weekend, the woman of the hour, if you ask me. Her name's Brandi Carlile. Holy shit, dude. What do you got?
Definitely. Well, I mean, part of the reason that she's on everybody's brain is that she's fabulous. But the other reason she's on everybody's brain is that she has assisted Joni Mitchell in returning to the stage. They played together at the Newport Folk Festival this past summer, and they are going to be performing 2 nights, one together and one will just be Brandi, although it is billed with special guests. It's going to be June 9th and 10th at the Gorge Amphitheater in Gorge, Washington State. And it is part of the Echoes Through the Canyon concert series. And, I mean, Joni Mitchell is making her, return to a ticketed show for the first time in over 20 years.
My Lord.
And... yeah, I mean, this is Joni, it means so much to so many people, and her presence on this earth and this opportunity to see her means so much for so many people. And I've spoken to a lot of people in the past week who've just said, yeah, I'm dropping everything and I'm just going to make sure I make it to the Gorge. Brandi is somebody who came on, my radar, I guess a little bit late. She had some breakthrough success, and I saw her first headlining show at Madison Square Garden a couple of years ago and was completely blown away by her musicality and her presence. And really her attention to the live show was something I was very taken with. She's obviously somebody who spent a lot of years on the road playing for audiences of all kinds, and something about seeing her on the big stage at the Garden, which I did again this past Saturday. There's kind of it's a very special thing to behold, and the energy in the room and the experience of love for her and her original music and her voice and her band. It's just a very cool thing that I'm glad to be a part of, and I'm glad that she's been able to just make such a kind of a unique career in the sense that she has these studio albums, she has this work with Joni Mitchell, she's an activist of all sorts, and also ride the mainstream flow and have so much kind of love and success from so many people.
It's out of control. It's fantastic, and I love her being sort of so close with Joni and having so much respect for Joni. And earlier this year at Carnegie Hall, was it? She did All of Blue by Joni Mitchell. Is that accurate?
Yes.
I mean, my Lord, that's crazy.
That is.
Crazy. And just, we, as you said, there are not enough words in the English language to describe the mark that Joni has left on contemporary American music and music as a whole, and for her to be the age that she is, seeing the shit that she has seen, walked the path that she has walked, and to have Brandi sort of come and bring her not out of retirement, that doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean? Like, she's coming back, and it's such a beautiful thing to see someone who means so much and who really wrote the book for so many people when it comes to folk music and beyond. It's absolutely out of control. So I'm so blown away that this is happening. Obviously, the Gorge, a place I have not been, but it is very high on the bucket list, arguably one of the greatest outdoor venues in the country. For this to be the backdrop is incredible. And I feel like we'd be...
Who wouldn't want to see that?
Who wouldn't want to see that?
Who wouldn't want to go there?
It's incredible. I feel like I just need to mention the twins in Brandi's band, right? And
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Obsessed with the twins. These are, two bald gentlemen. One plays guitar, one plays bass. Is that accurate? Do they both play guitar, Isaac?
They're multi-instrumentalists, really.
Oh, baby. They're so good to go.
They play a lot of different things, and I'm looking up their names right now because, we need to do justice to them on the pod.
We need to, yeah, absolutely. Brandi has these two twins who are in her band, for those who don't know, and it's beyond being in her band. I, have heard that they split everything almost evenly amongst the two of them, and they live together. Am I wrong to say that? Am I just spewing slanderous lies here? I don't know.
I think they do live together. I don't know if that's still the case. Brand, a wife and kids now. Her kids actually came on stage for the end of the encore, but they are Phil and Tim Hanseroth, and they have been with Brandi since the start of her career, taking it across the country. And she has this audiobook that our producer Marlo Shankweiler really loves, where she really divulges quite a bit about her life and her story, and the twins feature very prominently, and it's just amazing how she talks about them and how much she loves them, and they are obviously talented beyond belief.
And they're family to her. It's really a beautiful thing. I love it. I just love a story like that. It's just great. And they of course have been with her since the beginning when she was playing to no one, and now look at her. It's absolutely incredible. Just wanted to shout out the twins because I think that's incredible. And wow, Brandi, Joni, we salute you. Isaac, I'm so jealous that you got to see this at the Garden the other day. It's absolutely incredible. And go Brandi. Go Brandi.
Definitely.
Incredible. Well, over the weekend, there was a little bit of a trial and tribulation with the When We Were Young festival, which sort of made some headlines when it first got announced. And there throughout, this was a lineup containing a lot of sort of early 2000s alt rock emo throwbacks, including My Chemical Romance, Paramore, Bring Me the Horizon, Taking Back Sunday, Dashboard Confessional, etc., etc., etc. But Isaac, The Wind had other plans for this. Am I right?
Well, yes, it was it's a 3-day festival this year with the same lineup every day, which I think is a kind of an interesting way of doing it. But October 22nd, 23rd, and 29th, you could catch this multi-band, multi-stage bill at the Las Vegas festival grounds, except that for day one, on October 22nd, the winds had something to do with it. I think you know more about this than I do.
They basically, under the advisement of the National Weather Service and the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, they had to cancel that day's festival because, I feel you. Nobody wants a truss rod flailing at their face when they're trying to take in a little Paramore. That's kind of not, it's not what you want. So ticket holders, got a refund, great stuff, and the rest of the festival went on as planned. Is that correct, Isaac? I think it is.
The show went on the next day, and I guess it will happen again this week on Saturday. And you're remarking at the kind of nostalgia of this festival. It's very interesting to see something like this go down, where there's a kind of, self-referential, owning of it being a kind of nostalgic thing, calling it When We Were Young. My Chemical Romance dressed in the apparel that they wore around the release of their second album, and put on some masks and makeup to make them look old. But there is a kind of unifying and self-reflective way in which these bands that kind of on their own have some cred, some more than others, but certainly on a bill together represent a certain time and a certain place, and that is MySpace in the year 2006.
Amen.
For many people. For many people.
For very many people. Well, I hope the people that got to, take in the not canceled 2 days had the times of their lives. And, I'm all for a little nostalgia milking. I think it's great. Good for everybody. And we wish them well this coming weekend with the makeup. It's great. Good stuff all around. And moving right along, unless you have anything to add, Isaac, I feel like...
Well...
Please.
I will just say that this festival is already renewed for a 2023, next year, with a lineup headlined by Green Day and Blink-182. So, When We Were Young Festival, we see you, we salute you, and we wish you luck. And everyone stay safe out there.
Nothing but. You guys stay safe, and once again, you can't control the weather, baby, and it's just it's for your own good, so don't cry about it. It happens to the best of us. Well, there was another sort of national health warning. It was a weather advisory due to the absolute decimation of Milwaukee that happened over the weekend. Via the band
that's absolutely
Widespread Panic took it to Milwaukee this weekend and burned the venue to the ground, I heard, Isaac. Is that correct?
Well, that's what I heard as well, Karina. I wasn't there, but Widespread Panic making their return to the Riverside Theater in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is a 3-night stand at a 2,500 capacity venue. And Widespread Panic, October 21st is Widespread Panic Day in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That began in 2021 to honor the group's musical accomplishments and influence on the arts community in Milwaukee. And, this place loves this band, and this band loves to play for adoring audiences. And it seemed like these 3 nights were nothing short of a total throwdown, very, very special for everyone. everyone involved. And, I think we would be remiss not to mention they closed out the whole thing with a second encore. That's right. They left the stage after set 2, came out and played an encore, and then left the stage again and came back to deliver a cover of Ace of Spades by Motorhead.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I mean, these guys are always on point. We love them so much here at Inappropriate Happiness HQ. And it's incredible that they, really wet their whistle with these 3 nights like, this before embarking on this coming weekend. They're playing Halloween weekend in Savannah, Georgia, where they are going to absolutely lay waste to the 10,000 people a night that are going to see them. Is that correct, Isaac? I mean, come on. It's going to be out of control to see them there, practically in their hometown. It's pretty next level stuff. And of course, I feel like they keep getting older, but they stay the same age. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's one of those things that is a well-oiled machine. They are so inspired every time they get on stage. We stand Widespread Panic here. It's just true. It's amazing.
Yeah, I would have liked to be at either weekend, Milwaukee or the 2 nights at the End Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia. I mean, seeing them in a sold-out arena, that would be a cool experience.
We are friends with Widespread Panic's lawyer, and once in a while when you see a heater like this go down, I like to text her and I like to say, man, you're gonna have a lot of work to do on Monday, because those guys just burned that venue to the ground. It's a joke that doesn't get old to me. I don't know, we'll see if it gets old in the next few years. But I think that's indicative of just how intensely, incredibly these guys are playing. And when you see a second encore and it's Ace of Spades, that is exactly what gets me all in a tizzy. So Widespread Panic, we salute you. We salute everyone who was there last weekend, going to Savannah this weekend. It is a beautiful thing. Speaking of Halloween gigs, I am just wildly excited to see one of my favorite bands of all time, Ween, play Halloween at the Beacon Theater. I haven't seen Ween on Halloween since 2011, Isaac, which I realized after some very intense calculations is over a decade ago. And that is just a crazy thought, and when your name is in the title of the holiday, it's going to be next level. So Halloween, baby, Halloween. And of course, Trey is playing Chicago. Got bands everywhere playing everything. It's going to be a great time. It's definitely a jam band holiday that is celebrated, if you will, or just, a music holiday. People like to go see a little music on Halloween, myself included. So looking forward to that. And in the line of more news, Isaac, I added a show to my December tour. This is now going to be the opener here of the tour, which brings it from December into November. November 30th, I am playing in Ithaca, New York at the Upstairs. Super stoked about it, and can't wait for the whole tour. Honestly, I'm back, and now I'm just ready for more. I can't wait to play. And check out KarinaRykman.com/tour. Hitting all over the Northeast, baby. It's going to be real, real fun. Cannot wait for that. So that bared mentioning. And otherwise, man, we are stoked here. Thank you to RJB over at Osiris for putting us on. Thank you to Marlo Shankweiler, our illustrious producer, for making us sound so shiny, squeaky clean, and spectacular week after week. And Isaac, man, feels good, dude. Feels good. What do you got for the people? How do you feel?
I'm feeling ready going into this Halloween weekend. I'm feeling excited about the success of your tour with Marco and your impending tour with your band. And I just hope that everyone out there is soaking in music any way that they would like to and sharing it with the people in their lives.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Ladies and gentlemen, on that delightful note, we will bid you adieu. We can't wait for next week to really make it rain with you over the airwaves. And until then, be well and bye-bye. driving, jumping, turnstiles, hailing taxis with intent. Do you need directions? I bet it's not where you...
Osiris.